Let's call to order. Turn on the microphone. There we go. Let's call to order the Sparks City Council meeting for Monday, May 22nd. Let's start with a roll call.
Mayor Lawson.
Here.
Council members Abbott.
Here.
Vanderwell.
Here.
Anderson.
Here.
Bybee.
Here.
Dare.
Here.
Acting City Attorney Dana. Acting City Manager McCormick.
Here.
We have a quorum. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's start off with our invocation. Pastor Barb West.
Did that
Just
just
take me a
come to
little
you?
bit.
Did it just come?
About 30 seconds ago.
You're welcome, Barb. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Should we bow our heads in prayer? Thank you, Lord, for this privilege that we have to come before you today. Thank you, too, Lord, for Mayor Lawson and this great council that represent us. We thank you that we're able to gather together and do the work for Sparks, our beloved city. Thank you, Lord, for all the hardworking seniors that are here. Thank you, too, Lord, for our first responders, our police force, our firefighters, our EMT people. We are so thankful for each and every one. And so, Lord, give wisdom to our council as they do the business at hand. And we pray that you will be with us in all that we do. Protect our school children and our teachers as well. And Lord, we thank you for our mayor once again and just ask a blessing upon him. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
City Manager McCormick, will you lead us?
I would be glad to. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That was the best.
Okay. Move on to public comment. Madam Clerk, do we have any public comment?
We did not receive any public comment.
In the public wishing to speak at this time? If not, we'll move on to approval of the agenda. Mr. Anderson.
Yes, sir. I move to approve the agenda with items 9.5 and 9.6 removed, and item 10.1 being heard before item 9.8.
Okay, I've got a motion. Looking for a second. Ms. Vanderwell?
Second.
I got to switch modes in my head because I just ran the RTC meeting where I have to use the computer now. So, any other comment? Seeing none, please vote. Motion carries unanimously. We'd have to do everything by voice there. Looking for approval of the minutes. Mr. Dare.
I move to approve the minutes of the Spark City Council meeting for May 8th, 2023.
Looking for a second. Mr. Abbott.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, please vote. Motion carries unanimous. I assume. I didn't look. Item 7, announcements, presentations, recognition items, and items of special interest. And we have a proclamation for Older Americans Month, and I see I have 3 beautiful ladies in the audience. Come on down. Have a seat. Donald's going to read, he's going to show off his Sparks High education.
Education. Whereas the city of Sparks includes a growing number of older Americans who have built resilience and strength over their lives through success and difficulties. And whereas the city of Sparks benefits when people of all ages, abilities, and backgrounds are included and encouraged to share their success and stories and resilience. And whereas the city of Sparks recognizes the need to nurture ourselves, reinforce our strength, and continue to strive in times of joy, in both joy and difficulty. And whereas the city of Sparks can foster communities of strength by creating opportunities to share stories and learn from each other, engaging older adults through education, recreation, and service, and encouraging people of all ages to celebrate connections and resilience. And whereas the 2023 theme for Older Americans Month is Aging Unbound, which offers an opportunity to explore diverse aging experiences and discuss how to combat stereotypes and as a community. Now therefore, on behalf of Mayor Ed Lawson, the Mayor of the City of Sparks, do hereby proclaim May 2023 as Older Americans Month.
Andrea Belto, for the record. Thank you so much for the proclamation, and thank you so much for coming out and supporting our events. You know, it's our pleasure to get some of those Spark seniors out of their homes and to enjoy some ice cream and some music. And, you know, we tried to really vary it up this year as to what we were offering. So it has been our pleasure to serve some of those seniors in Sparks.
Hi, Marcy Cooper-Smith for the record. Thank you all for just always being so supportive of seniors, really. You came out to the info fair. Always when there's senior events, it's always the Sparks City Council, the mayor and the Sparks City Council, and we keep hearing that from time to time and time again. And I just want to plug an event I have tomorrow. It's going to be our senior safety fair at 11 a.m. to 12:30. It's going to be at the Sparks Library. And I'm so thrilled we have Sparks Police there, Sparks Fire. We're going to have REMSA, and we're also going to have Nick Dana from the City Attorney's Office of Sparks. So now all we have to do is get Sparks seniors out there. We have a great group of representatives. So anyway, thank you once again.
Thank you, Marcy.
Oh, they're already taking a picture.
Hold on. You want-
Hang on real quick. I wanted to just thank you guys for everything that you do on behalf of the oldest city council member and a senior. Appreciate you guys. You guys are just awesome. What you've done since you've been in existence, and some of us were here to watch when it first formed, thanks to Councilman Abbott. What you do with enthusiasm and passion benefits all of our seniors. And so as a senior, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Resilience. That's a hard word for me today. We said it 3 times. I decide? You can hold it? Yeah, we're really tall right now.
Donald's not that tall.
Before he brings it back.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. All right, let's move on to 7.2, NF2 Awareness Day. Mr. Abbott has this one also.
We'd like to do the picture before.
Okay, go ahead. We're gonna switch it up. Just give us your name for the record.
Stevie
After he
Yark.
reads his proclamation.
Sorry, my
Sorry,
first time.
I got ahead of myself.
Cool.
We got things backwards, so I'm,
I know, it's a curveball.
For it.
Cool. Whereas neurofibromatosis type 2, NF2, is a rare and devastating genetic condition that causes tumors to form in the brain, spine, and nerves, causing patients to lose hearing, eyesight, mobility, and eventually their lives. And whereas NF2 impacts about 1 in 25,000 individuals across all ethnicities, genders, and ages. And whereas most individuals with NF2 have multiple tumors at once. And because NF2 is caused by a genetic change in a tumor suppressor gene, a patient will always face the probability of a new tumor growth. And whereas surgery, radiation, and chemotherapies are the only treatments currently available for NF2, and these treatments are physically taxing and can damage the very nerves that are intended to preserve. And whereas with no cure or innocuous treatment available yet, NF2 is a progressive disorder that will worsen over time, leading to more severe complications. And whereas NF2 is a rare disorder, NF2 research is severely underfunded, And whereas NF2 Biosolutions is a nonprofit organization founded by the parents of NF2 patients that has partnered with several research labs from a world-renowned institution across the globe to pursue research initiatives to attack NF2 through the destruction of existing tumors and prevention of new tumor growth while protecting their function. Now therefore, on behalf of Ed Lawson, the mayor of the city of Sparks, Nevada, do hereby proclaim May 22nd, 2023 as NF2 Awareness Day.
Okay, now you can give us, thank you.
Stevie Yarbrough for the record. I'm also Sparks High educated, so I had to bring notes. I apologize. Not a good public speaker, so if you see me eyeballing Councilman Abbott is because he is an old classmate of mine, and I'm trying to keep my tummy from doing backflips. So, good afternoon, Mayor and council members. My name is Stevie Yarbrough. I was born and raised right here in Northern Nevada, and I am now raising my own children in our amazing town of Sparks. I have recently become ambassador to Nevada for NF2 Biosolutions. I decided to make this commitment after my young son, Tucker, the cute little dude you just saw in here, received a diagnosis of NF2, also known as neurofibromatosis type 2 or NF2-related schwannomatosis. That's a new one. There are 3 types of NF, and the month of May encompasses all of them as NF Awareness Month. Today, May 22nd, is specifically designated to World NF2 Awareness Day. I am here to reach out to members of our community to spread awareness about NF2 and NF2 Biosolutions. What is NF2? NF2 is a rare tumor predisposition disorder that is caused by mutation on a tumor suppressor gene. This causes multiple tumors to grow throughout the central nervous system and other locations throughout a patient's life. These tumors cause patients to lose the abilities that most of us take for granted in our day-to-day lives. Patients lose hearing, eyesight, mobility, and more. In addition, patients are bound to treatments that carry many risks and attempt to control tumor growth and tumor burden. Imagine living life knowing that you will forever be in and out of different types of cancer treatments because the medical field has nothing better to offer you as you watch your body deteriorate. But there is hope. NF2 Biosolutions is a 501c3 nonprofit organization founded by parents of NF2 patients. We solely operate through the help of volunteers who are patients or family members of patients. This way, we can ensure that all of the funds raised go towards our cause to create better treatments and ultimately a cure for this cruel disease. Moreover, many cancers and benign tumors also harbor NF2 mutations. So NF2 research can cure many types of cancers, and it's a worthy cause for all. Any help that you can give in spreading awareness about NF2, the impact it has on patients, and NF2 Biosolutions and our cause is greatly appreciated. So this summer, I've put together a walk at the marina to try to raise funds and awareness in our community since it's rare and not a lot of people know about it. And I brought some invitations for you guys.
Any questions from the council? Will you just give them to the clerk? Yeah, there we go. Thank you. Any questions from the council?
I just
Mr.
want to
Dare?
say, good job. I know parenting's hard enough, period, and there's a lot of parents in this room who know what we're talking about, but when you get to ramp up and be there consistent and even start a 501c3 or be a part of one, all that stuff, that's hero status, so good job.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Mr. Abbott?
Just want to thank you for coming down here. I know when we reached out, or you reached out a couple of months ago about starting to do a walk of some kind. It's kind of cool to see it all come together and helping build awareness here. So
Thank you.
I know it's all new. It's some, going against your, what you've done previously. And so congratulations on
Thank
getting
you.
this
I
far.
appreciate
And
you
I have
guys.
it on my calendar to be there.
Awesome. I appreciate you guys.
Just wanted to mention, I don't think you said when the walk is going to be.
July 8th. I left some flyers on the table outside and I passed some to Councilman Abbott as well.
All right, thank you. Yeah, we have, 1 million viewers on the program right now, so that's what we want to make sure they heard that as well.
Awesome. I'm so glad I didn't know that until just now.
We generally
Thank you.
don't tell you up front. There's that many
Thank you.
people.
I appreciate you guys.
You did a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, 7.3 and 7.4. Ms. McCormick.
Thank you, Mayor Lawson. I'm announcing 5 separate vacancies. The Civil Service Commission has 2 vacancies, each for a 3-year term ending June 30th of 2026. Applicants for the Civil Service Commission must be Sparks residents and cannot be a City of Sparks employee or related to one within the 3rd degree of consanguinity. There are also 3 vacancies on the Sparks Parks and Recreation Commission. Those vacancies are also for 3-year terms ending June 30th of 2026. Members of the Parks and Recreation Commission must be residents of Sparks or have a valid Sparks business license. Applications for all of these vacancies will be accepted until Friday, May 26th, 2023 at 5 p.m. Persons interested in serving on these committees should complete a community service application online at the city's website, www.cityofsparks.us/getinvolved. Simply complete the volunteer application form and hit submit. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's move on to consent items. Anyone wishing to pull a consent item? If not, I'm looking for a motion. Ms. Vanderwell.
I move to approve consent items 8.1 through 8.10 as submitted.
Mr. Anderson.
Second?
Had a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, please vote. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much. Moving on to 9.1, consideration, discussion, and possible approval of the mayor's appointment to the Reno Tahoe Airport Authority Board of Trustees from the following pool of applicant listed in alphabetical order. Sean Carey, followed by Sean Carey.
Thank you, Mayor Lawson. For the record, Allison McCormick, Acting City Manager. This appointment is a reappointment of Mr. Carey to the Reno Tahoe Airport Authority Board of Trustees. This is a 4-year term, and staff recommends that the council approve the mayor's appointment. Thank you.
Okay. Then, so I'm looking for a motion. Ms. Bybee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I am very excited and pleased to move to approve the mayor's appointment of Sean Carey to the Reno Tahoe Airport Authority Board of Trustees for a 4-year term ending June 30th, 2027.
Mr. Anderson.
And I'm very glad to second that motion.
Okay, got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, please vote. And you squeaked by with a unanimous vote, Sean. Sean, thank you so much for what you've done, not only when you were city manager for Sparks, but what you've done for us on the airport board, and you've been chair at least once that I'm aware of, maybe more, twice. So you're doing a fantastic job. We have some other work for you to do for us, so we appreciate you being there.
It's been my honor to serve the citizens of Sparks. The airport's a wonderful place. We have a really bright future when we have some trustees and, most importantly, some great employees who are working hard to create more R&L. It'll be a rebuilt airport within your lifetime and mine, and it's going to be really exciting to see the facilities we can provide for the future.
Thank you. Ms. Bybee.
I just want to thank you for your service on the airport board, and obviously, airports are close to my heart. And I just see what you bring from your leadership experience here. You bring a calm, common sense, just a really nice way of being on a board that sometimes boards can get kind of crazy. And I think you bring that calm leadership that represents Sparks really well. And just excited to have both you and Mr. Sperber there as very top-notch representatives for our city on a very important board with some incredible work that's going on. A little painful right now as we're all trying to get through, or you're trying to get through that construction, but the end result will be amazing. Thank you.
Mr. Dare.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. I hear actually people are very, in other portions of our region that are very pleased you're there as well, which that's something that's pretty awesome. And I think you're a great example to all staff in here. As soon as you retire, you just got to come back and serve on boards. So we appreciate it. Thanks for that example.
Anyone else? Thank you, Sean. We appreciate your service.
Thank you all.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on to 9.2, consideration, discussion, and possible approval of the contract AC 5944 for the site improvements for 2 prefabricated restrooms from Taurus Construction in the amount of $275,775 for the Shelley and Burgess Parks prefabrication restrooms. Ugh. Bid number 22/23-034 PWP hashtag WA-2023-329.
Perfect.
Gonna put me on the police department. I'm gonna read license plates. Thanks. Brian, go ahead.
Good afternoon, Mayor and members of the council. Brian Kaysen, Capital Projects Manager. This agenda item is for the site improvements required to install 2 new prefabricated restrooms at Burgess and Shelley Park. These were previously approved by council on October 24th, 2022. The structures, structures were funded by CDBG state COVID funding, which excluded the site work. I do want to thank Amy Jones, the planning, building, and fire department staff for all their help throughout the process with the CDBG funding process. The prefabricated restrooms had a very long lead time of approximately 6 months, which did require staff to bid the site work at a later date. On the map, I just wanted to remind you of the location of each park. Of course, Shelley Park is at the corner of North McCarran Boulevard and Bering Boulevard. The new restroom is located within the red box. The next slide shows a rendering of the restroom that's going in there. It's a relatively small floor plan, but has, of course, 2 separate restrooms along with drinking fountains. The next one is Burgess Park, which is at the corner of Pyramid Way and Greenbrae Drive. And the restroom's located in approximately the northwest corner of that park. This rendering, the floor plan is just slightly larger than the other one because we needed to accommodate the lighting and irrigation controls at Burgess Park. So that's the only difference between the 2 restrooms. 3 responsive bids were received on April 24th, 26, 2023, with Taurus Construction providing the lowest responsive bid in the amount of $275,775. Staff is recommending Taurus Construction be awarded the site work construction contract. And with that being the end of my presentation, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Questions from the council? Mr. Dare?
Yeah, I'm excited about both of those, especially at Shelley Park. We've been knowing that needed to be there for a long time, so it's a great expense, great place to put that. And so for our citizens, as they ask about what we're doing in our parks, I think that's a great example. So, good job.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, with that, I'm looking for a motion then. Mr. Dare?
I move to approve a construction contract, AC 5944, in the amount of $275,775. Bid number 22/23-034 PWP hashtag WA-2023-329 with Taurus Construction for site improvements for the 2 previously approved state-funded Shelley and Burgess Park prefabricated restrooms.
Ms. Vanderwell?
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, please vote. Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, 9.3, consideration, discussion, and possible approval of a purchase of 1 Timco Model 500X regenerative air sweeper from Timco through MGX Equipment Services in the amount of $368,945, utilizing a joinder bid from HGAC, a purchasing consortium, contract number SW04-20. Mr. Anderson.
Mayor and members of council, Mark Anderson.
By the way, that's a lovely jacket.
Thank you.
I like
It's
that
summer.
color.
I've declared that winter's over.
It's like-
Done with the snow.
Very nice.
Yeah. So I'm Mark Anderson, Public Works Manager here on this Monday of National Public Works Week, asking for your consideration to purchase a new sweeper. Our sweepers are used in our day-to-day operations to keep our roadways clear of debris and also to keep contaminants out of our storm drain collection system. This sweeper is a regenerative air sweeper, which means it's a giant vacuum. Doesn't have the brooms like a typical sweeper does. Does a better job of picking up bottles, cups, stuff like that. The only thing out of the normal for this is part of our regular replacement cycle. The unit that's being replaced is 16 years old. We've tried to replace it 2 times, but other units failed during the process, so this one got delayed. This one is $8,945 over what we budgeted, but we have savings from other vehicles in that fund to pay for it. With that, I'm here to answer any
All
questions.
right, questions from the council? Mr. Anderson?
Yeah, just have a question on their bid sheet. It says the quote is good for 30 days, and it was back from December 6th of '22. They're holding that price to the bid for us? They are. Okay, very good, thank you. And this one is, this company is actually building sweepers as we speak instead of waiting for the order. So we might get this within a year. Wow. Thank you. Might.
It's a definite maybe.
It's a definite maybe.
All right, anyone else? If not, I'm looking for a motion. Mr. Anderson?
I move to approve the purchase of one Timco 500X regenerative air sweeper from Timco through MGX Equipment Services as part of a CIP for fiscal year 2023, utilizing a joiner bid from HEAC contract SW04-20 in the amount of $368,945.
Mr. Abbott?
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, please vote. Motion carries unanimously. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.
9.4, consideration, discussion, and possible adoption of Resolution 3425, directing outdoor dining and encroachment permit fees to be assessed per Sparks Municipal Code for fiscal year 2024 and other matters properly relating thereto. I don't know why that one I couldn't pronounce well. Mr. Drinkwater.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of council. Excuse me, Michael Drinkwater, Community Services Director. Here before you with the resolution to set the outdoor dining and encroachment permit fees for fiscal year '24. A little bit of history. These were established in 2017, I believe, by Sparks Municipal Code to assess basically a rental fee for those businesses in the Victorian Square area that utilize the sidewalk or the public right-of-way as part of their outdoor dining space. So the space is defined for them and they have exclusive rights to use it during that period, so they do pay a fee for that. However, during the COVID years of 2021 and 2022, this council chose to waive those fees. This current fiscal year, we were directed to impose them at 50% of what would normally, of the calculated value. And there was some consideration that we would return to the full fee here for the upcoming fiscal '24, and that is why I'm before you today for your consideration and direction to that end. So there are currently 14 businesses that utilize this procedure in the Victorian Square area, and they pay a fee of it is $1.12 per square foot. That was calculated by an average of the assessed value of the Victorian Square properties. So some of those properties have a much higher assessed value because they might be newer or some other reason they might be taxed more. So Mr. Ornelas, my predecessor, did an analysis, came up with an average per square foot cost of the $1.12, and that's what each business pays based upon how much square footage they use. The last year that we fully assessed them was 2020, and the permits were, the total revenue collected was $9,338. This current year at 50%, we collected just over $5,700. So assuming the same number of businesses utilize the same square footage, if we could return to the full value of the fees in fiscal '24, it'd be approximately $11,000 in revenue to the city. With that, happy to answer any questions.
All right, question from the council. Ms. Bybee.
Have we had any conversations with the business owners that, as far as, are they anticipating, or is there going to be, you're getting negative response?
We have
Or are
not-
they aware that we are considering going back to full fee?
Some are aware. We did not do a comprehensive information campaign, no. So we have not received any comment. One business owner did reach out and try to pay his fee early because he just wanted to be in front of it, and we talked with him about it, but otherwise, no, ma'am.
Mr. Anderson.
I was wondering if you could give us the history on the fee amounts since we implemented the program and where we're looking at going with the cost right now.
So as I said, back, these were instituted in approximately 2017, I believe. That calculated per square foot fee was calculated again by my predecessor, Mr. Ornelas, and that has not changed in the period that we've been assessing, this Sparks has been assessing these fees. The only thing that has changed in the program is during the COVID years when the council chose to waive them, and then last year chose to assess them at 50% of the assessed value.
Okay, so we're not actually raising the fees, we're just going back to the pre-COVID rates that we were charging?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Dare.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back to the question Charlene asked, because I thought I asked this, and I thought at one time we heard that we had conversations. So there's no conversation that's happened on our end to go and let them know that we're going back to normal rates?
Not that I'm aware of, sir, no.
Well, then I would ask, and I know where to direct this, is to say, I think that should be a given. Whenever we make changes, that needs to be communicated. And we may change it, if we're gonna make a change back, it should be communicated, and there's only 14. If it was not doable, that's another question, but if we've not done anything to communicate to them and they're gonna get a bill that all of a sudden is twice the thing, that doesn't seem like a greatest idea.
Councilman Dare, to your question, Assistant City Manager John Martini, that information was relayed to the business owners last year when this board or this council decided to reduce them to 50%. In that resolution, it did state that they would return to 100% in the coming fiscal '24. The business owners are aware of it based on our conversations of last year. Mr. Drinkwater is before you today to make sure that is still what the council would like to do. That was the direction received last year. This is an opportunity to leave it at 50% or set any percent value you deem necessary. But to your question, we met with them last year when you let us know you wanted to move them to half, and we said, okay, but coming up in fiscal '24, they go back to full.
So I would say then that's good information. That means you did talk to them. Surprising anybody shouldn't be. No one should get a bill, and this is what I don't want. No one should get a bill and be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they did this. So you're telling me that should not happen?
That information was out last year, and to Michael's point, we have not reached out to talk with them about the coming season because we wanted to have this conversation with you first.
So once this conversation's over, will I expect then, are you gonna go have a conversation, or are they just gonna get a bill?
So what we historically do is once this council sets fees, and now granted, for a number of years, we just always had the 100% fee, then COVID hits and we kind of set a precedence of let's help them out. Last year, we actually, Armando was before you, wanting to return them to 100. However, the council felt that we still had some hangover from COVID and you chose to vote for, or you accepted 50%. We let the business owners know that next year, or last year. So to your point, once this fee is set, we deliver the paperwork and let them know that they need to renew if they choose.
So I'll just be clear. For me, it makes sense to me that we over-communicate things, not under-communicate. And over-communicate would mean that we're walking with people. No one should be surprised. So if it seems like to be a surprise, then I would like our staff, so I'm asking you guys to do whatever that means, to make sure that that's not my ward. I know that's Donald's ward, so maybe it's a piece of him, but I know for me,
Ask
I'm
a
concerned.
clarifying question?
Yes.
Do they sign an agreement with us for this?
They have all signed an agreement, and
But they don't sign a new agreement this year?
they will. Every year it is.
So that's your
It
contact,
is renewed.
Christopher.
It's not forced upon them. It's their option to renew or not. And last year, when we signed those, we let them know what the resolution said, and to expect, that the will of the council back last year was to return to 100% this year.
Mr. Abbott?
I think that there's still a little fatigue from COVID down there. I don't think business is back to normal, if we want to say normal. Personally, I think we do need to get to 100 at some point. Throwing a number out, I wouldn't mind going to 75%, splitting that gap today. But at least that's where I'll leave that comment at.
Mr. Mayor, if I will, Councilman Abbott, I do agree with you. I think things are starting to get better. To just be blunt, leaving them at 50% does not break the budget. I mean, Michael gave you the numbers. It's 6,000 versus 11,000. And I kind of agree. I think things are just starting. I mean, we're looking really forward to a really robust and full blast special events. I mean, last year was good. We think this year's going to be better. So that's why when Michael was looking at it, he decided, let's bring it before the council and see where they want to put things this year. So we could have just taken your resolution from last year and said it's 100%, but Mike thought it was a good idea to come forward and check in.
Ms. Bybee.
Okay, so you're reading my mind, and he's reading my mind, which is pretty scary. Because I was thinking maybe 75%. And I know dollar-wise, it's not a lot, but it's kind of like an optics thing. And I know that we're facing challenges in our budget. But with inflation and the cost of doing business for all the businesses down there, even if we have more robust activity, their costs are higher. And it just goes down to the consumer at the end of the day. So I like the idea of 75% because it kind of inches them back to that 100% and kind of feels like a good optic to me that, and dollar-wise, you're right, it's not a huge difference, but going, instead of even staying at 50, inching them up to 75 with the intent of next year going to 100% is just kind of, I think might be a good solution.
Okay, then let's make a motion.
Well, when there's a motion.
Well, we're gonna make them, we'll see if that's
see what the motion is.
the desire is 75%.
Okay, give us just one
Yeah,
moment.
if you could give the clerk a moment to get that motion into the system.
74.9.
Well, do we know that's what he's going to say?
987.
72 and 3/8.
So may I just?
You can.
So before we make a motion, I just want to say, and kind of along what Councilman Bybee said, that it's not a significant amount of money, but for a small business, and if you're trying to fight through everything still, I believe every bit counts. And so I think if we can help them a little bit to just continue on that path to success, that it's a good thing. So, good job.
And I'll just add one more thing if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
I believe that also says we're walking with you. And so that's the key. I like that. So I agree. I think it says if we just stayed at 50%, which I'd be comfortable with that as well, but it says we're walking with you. I do think that it would be nice, thank you, and we're glad we're having this conversation, but it would be nice in whatever we give out, that the intention is to be back at 100% next year so they can be.
$5,000 is not gonna balance the budget for us.
No. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Abbott.
Looks right.
Well, I think Mr. Abbott's gonna be our motioner.
Yes.
Mr. Abbott.
Oh, hold up, I double tapped. I move to, okay, yeah, we're good. I move to adopt resolution number 3425, directing outdoor dining and encroachment permit fees be assessed at 75% of Sparks Municipal Code for fiscal year 2024 and other matters properly relating thereto.
Ms. Bybee.
I will second that motion.
Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, please vote. Motion carries unanimously. Michael, thanks for bringing that back. That was good to clarify.
Thank you.
Thank you. 9.7, consideration, discussion, and possible approval of Resolution 3424 to augment the FY '23 budget by $10,923, $10 million.
I like it.
10,000, I'm thinking that's no big deal.
Million among friends, right?
Yeah. $10,923,812 in various funds to provide appropriations for capital project approved but not completed in prior years. I got my decimal point comma mixed up.
Good afternoon, Mayor Lawson, members of the City Council. For the record, Wayne Weber, your budget manager. Item 9.7 is one of our annual NRS compliance visits, and I didn't bring cookies or anything for you. I apologize for that. Today, we seek your approval to augment the fiscal '23 budget in the amount of $10,923,812 for prior year approved and funded projects. A complete breakdown of those projects are attached to your agenda item.
On the screen, I have the fund summary, the amounts that we're augmenting by fund. I know it's a big number, but that's how it's allocated among the funds. And with that, I can take any questions from the
Okay.
council.
Questions from the council? Wayne, it seemed like you did a great job. No questions. Well, if we don't have any questions, how about a motion? Mr. Dare?
One quick question, and then I'll do the motion.
Okay.
Sure.
How much of that is coming out of just our general budget? Do you have any idea?
No, those are all.
Those are all their own
Capital
funds?
project funds.
Oh, capital
yes.
project funds, they're all set
Yeah,
aside.
and it's-
Thank
it
you.
was funded and approved. They're all
Unapproved?
been approved, yeah.
I'm on it, thank you. I just want to make sure I was right on that.
Okay.
I move to approve resolution number 3424 to augment the FY '23 budget by $10,923,812 in various funds to provide appropriations for capital projects approved but not completed in prior years.
Mr. Abbott?
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, please vote. Motion carries unanimously. Thanks, Wayne. Appreciate it. All right, Madam Clerk, 10.1, a public hearing.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is public hearing on the tentative budget for the City of Sparks for fiscal year 2023-2024 as required by NRS 354.596.
I think it's on you now, Mr. Cronk.
Good afternoon, Mayor and members of the council. Jeff Cronk for the record. No action is required by the council for this. This is the second to last step in our fiscal '24 budget process. We are just required by state law to hold a public hearing on the tentative budget, which was filed in April in compliance with the Department of Taxation in compliance with state law. So we just have to have a public hearing, and that's it for this agenda item.
Okay, this is a public hearing. Anyone in the public wishing to speak at this time? See none. We have any public? I'll bring it back to the dais. And what do we need to approve it? Just accept?
No,
That's it?
that's
Nothing?
it. Yeah, no action is required.
That's
We can
unusual
move.
for us, but hey, we can handle it. Okay, well then let's go back to 9.8. Consideration, discussion, of possible adoption of the final budget for the City of Sparks for fiscal year 23-24. Mr. Cronk.
Good afternoon, Mayor Lawson, members of council. This is where I do need your action. This is the final step in our fiscal '24 budget process. This is when I gave to you on the state forms the final document, which is going to represent the final budget. This is the document that's actually going to need your signatures on it, and the city clerk will distribute that document for your signatures should you approve it. There is no real material difference in the final budget compared to the tentative budget, which we just held the public hearing on, with the exception of one expenditure item for $300,000 for solar panels for the senior apartment complex down the street on Prater Way. That's being used with ARPA funds that are being processed and managed through the general fund. So it's an addition to the general fund expenditure between that, that came to being between the tentative budget and the final budget, and that is the only difference in the final budget compared to what was in the tentative and also what we had presented to you in the city manager's budget recommendations. And with that, I'll be happy to answer any questions.
All right, questions from the council? It's only about the 5th time we've seen this, so
Yep.
we should be pretty well versed on it. So we're Mr. Anderson.
No questions. Just want to say thank you and to all of the team that worked on this. I know it can seem like a never-ending project, but thank you for all the work that's been done.
This
Great
is
job.
always a great day for me. Thank you.
The last day. All right, anyone else? Mr. Anderson.
I move to adopt the final budget for City of Sparks for fiscal year 2023-2024, budget as presented.
Got a motion? Mr. Abbott?
Second.
Got a second? Any further discussion? Seeing none, please vote. Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jeff. 11.1, public hearing. Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is public hearing, discussion, and possible approval of resolution number 3421 to certify a comprehensive plan amendment to change the land use designation from mixed use District Mixed Residential, MUD-MR, to Mixed Use District Mixed Use Commercial, MUD-MUC, for a site of 7.39 acres consisting of 7 parcels located on the north side of Prater Way between Sullivan Lane and 18th Street, Sparks, Nevada. APNs 031-33010, 031-33005, 031-33004, 031-33009, 031-34205, 031-34201, and 031-34203.
Okay, Sienna.
Thank you, Mayor Lawson, City Council members. For the record, Sienna Reed, Planning Manager. This agenda item, as just read, is a comprehensive plan amendment request for a site located on Prater Way. And you'll remember that this request was sponsored by the City Council in December of last year. On this slide, you can see the amendment site bound in red. It includes 7 properties that together total 7.39 acres in size. And as you can see, the site is located on the north side of Prater Way between Sullivan Lane to the west and 18th Street to the east. The properties within the amendment site are all currently developed. Uses include retail buildings, duplexes, apartments, an auto repair shop, a child care facility, as well as a manufactured home park. Notably, Prater Way is designated as one of the city's primary investment corridors. That means that Prater Way is a location where we're looking to see both public and private investment. Today, the subject site is designated Mixed Use District, Mixed Residential, or MUD-MR. And you can see that color in the yellow with red hatching. This designation supports both residential and non-residential development, but does have a bit more of a residential emphasis. So for example, townhomes, duplexes, and condominiums are each supported, as well as supporting non-residential uses like offices, restaurants, or grocery stores. As proposed, the comprehensive plan amendment request would change the land use designation on the subject site to Mixed Use District, Mixed Use Commercial, or MUD-MUC, which is shown in the pink color. As you can see, there are properties located to the west and south of the subject site that are already designated MUD-MUC. And this designation supports a wider range of residential, commercial, as well as recreational uses. So in addition to townhomes, apartments, and condominiums, non-residential uses like retail, event centers, medical offices, and child care facilities are also supported. So to wrap up the overview of this comprehensive plan amendment request and shift gears into the findings that council needs to consider this afternoon. First off, we have a finding CP1, which requires the comprehensive plan land use change conform with the land use intensity designation in the regional plan. Subject site has a mixed use core designation per the regional plan, and that designation supports urban development, and so it has the highest density and intensity requirements to promote a pedestrian-friendly atmosphere as well as support transit service. As required by the regional plan, residential development needs to meet a minimum density of 14 dwelling units per acre, and non-residential development must have a minimum floor area ratio of 0.25. Our density standards for the MUD-MUC comprehensive plan land use designation that's proposed already exceed what's required in the regional plan, with a minimum residential density requirement 24 dwelling units per acre, and a minimum FAR of 0.25. Moving on to finding CP2, it requires the comprehensive plan amendment implement the goals and policies of our comprehensive plan. So as proposed, the MUD-MUC land use designation would allow for a broader range of non-residential uses and associated businesses along Prater Way, which, as just noted, is a primary investment corridor. This supports goals MG6, MG7, EV4, and then also policy EV6. Those encourage a compact and fiscally responsible growth pattern, as well as small business growth and development. In addition, the subject site is located in an area that was previously developed and where city services are already in place, supporting policy CF1. Moving on to finding CP3, focusing on compatibility with surrounding land uses. Here, changing the comprehensive plan land use designation on the subject site as proposed
is compatible with surrounding land use designations. Properties to the west and the south are already designated MUD, MUC, and developed with a variety of commercial and residential uses. Several properties to the north are designated MUD, MR, and developed with single-family and multifamily uses. These properties will continue to serve as a buffer between the proposed MUD, MUC designation and properties a little bit farther north that are designated mixed-use district residential neighborhood and have a lower density residential character. In addition, 2 properties designated mixed-use district civic are located north and east of the subject site. These properties are developed as Kate Smith Elementary School and Deer Park. As there are properties designated MUD, MUC immediately south of Deer Park and then also 200 feet west of Kate Smith Elementary, locating the proposed land use in proximity to those properties is characteristic of the existing development pattern already in place. And finally, finding CP4 requires public notice be given as required by code and state law. Here, the statutorily required neighborhood meeting was conducted by city staff on February 6th. There were 3 members of the public that attended that meeting, and their questions and comments really focused on supporting local businesses as well as wanting to have a sense of what the next approval steps were. Also, public notice of this meeting was given in the Reno Gazette-Journal on May 11th, and in terms of staff correspondence, we have received 9 phone calls related to the proposed amendment. Each of these were before the Planning Commission public hearing, and most of those callers were seeking just additional information about the amendment. 1 caller did, however, indicate their support, and 1 other caller indicated their opposition. The Planning Commission approved the comprehensive plan amendment request on February 16th, and it was found to conform with the regional plan on April 3rd. And so you have a suggested motion to certify this amendment on this slide as well as in your meeting packet. And with that, I'll wrap up this presentation and be available for any questions.
Questions from the council? Okay, no questions? All right, this is a public hearing, so we're going to open it up for public comment. Anyone in the public wishing to speak at this time? Seeing none, we'll bring it back to the dais. I'm looking for a motion. Mr. Abbott.
I move, based on findings CP1 through CP4 as set forth in the staff report, to approve resolution number 3421 to certify a comprehensive plan amendment to change the land use designation from mixed-use district, mixed residential, to mixed-use district, mixed-use commercial for a site of 7.39 acres consisting of 7 parcels located on the north side of the Prater Way between Sullivan Lane and 18th Street, Sparks, Nevadas. Do I need to do the APNs?
Yep.
Yep, cool. APN 031-330-10, 031-330-05, 031-330-04, 031-330-09, 031-342-05, 031-342-01, 031-342-03. There's a lot of
Thank you,
zeros.
Mr. Abbott.
You're welcome.
Mr. Dare.
I second that, even though he missed a few dashes.
We've got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, please vote. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Sienna. All right, Madam Clerk, do we have any public comment?
We did not receive any additional public
We
comment.
do have a public comment, the one troublemaker in the room every time. We can arrange that.
I'll be happy to talk with you after the meeting.
Anyone else? All right. Close public comment. Announcements from the mayor, city council, and city manager. Manager? Acting manager?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would just like to thank staff. Bringing the final budget before the council for approval is always a process, and it was particularly involved this time around. So thank you to the Financial Services Department, but also, staff in every department are heavily involved in the budget. I am so grateful that I am not responsible for preparing the Community Services Department's budget, for example, given how many funds are involved there. So thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Ms. Vanderwell.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I wanted to share that over the last 3 weeks, there's been 2 park cleanups. So the Opio family cleaned up Opio Park this Saturday, so I would like to thank them. And a couple of weeks ago, the Les Hicks Parks Jr. Park, I met some people out there, neighbors out there to clean up that park. So I'd like to thank David Murdoch, Kelly and Cooper Jonas, Jim and Adrian Mormon, and Bill, Heather, Jack, and Sam Stewart.
Okay, Mr. Dare.
I just want to give props to Donald and his team for the Big S. He did a good job, and they didn't have handicap access for me, or I would have been out there with them. They didn't let me come, but no, you guys did a great job, and I watched your video, and I know you guys worked hard on that, so thanks for stepping up.
Anyone else? Okay. Well, good job. Good job on painting the S. It's good for another 2 years.
It's our 100th
It's our 100th anniversary. There we go. Okay. With that, we're on adjournment. You got, Julie, you got papers to sign right now? Oh, we have,
Okay. Hang on for just a minute, and we'll get to the redevelopment agency. Oh, because we've got the budget stuff.
Okay.
put it away.
You didn't miss a gavel.
Public hearing stuff.
Are we ready? Yeah. Okay. Okay, I would like to call to order the meeting of the Sparks Redevelopment Agency meeting of Monday, May 22nd, with a roll call.
Chairperson Bybee.
Here.
Agency members Lawson.
Here.
Abbott.
Here.
Vanderwell.
Here.
Anderson.
Here.
Dare.
Here.
Acting Chief Legal Officer Dana. Acting Chief Administrative Officer McCormick.
Here.
We have a quorum, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Moving on to item 3.1, public comment. Do we have any public comment?
We did not receive any public comment.
And seeing none, we'll move on. I'll close public comment. Move on to item 4.1, approval of the agenda. Looking for a motion. Agency Member Vanderwell.
I move to approve the agenda as submitted.
And a second, Agency Member Abbott.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, please vote. Please vote. Thank you, Mr. Dare. Passes unanimously, 6.0. 5.1, consideration, discussion, and possible approval of the minutes of the Sparks Redevelopment Agency meeting for April 10th, 2024. Do I have any corrections, additions, or a motion to approve the minutes? Agency Member Dare.
I move to approve the minutes of the Sparks Redevelopment Agency meeting for April 10th, 2023.
Agency Member Anderson.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, please vote. Motion carries unanimously. Okay, moving on to item 6.1. Consideration and possible acceptance of the report of the claims and bills approved for payment and appropriation transfers for the period of March 29th, 2023 through May 9th, 2023. Looking for a motion? I guess I should ask for any discussion. If not, I'll take a motion. Agency Member Anderson?
Move to accept reported claims and bills with appropriation transfers for the period March 29th, 2023 through May 9th, 2023.
Thank you. Agency Member Vanderwell?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, please vote. Motion carries unanimously. Item 7.1, public hearing on the tentative budget for the redevelopment agency of the City of Sparks Area 2 for the fiscal year 2023-2024 as required by NRS 354-596. Mr. Mr. Cronk.
Thank you, Chairwoman Bybee. Agency members, Jeff Kronk, your Chief Financial Officer for the record. Just like we did for the city, the state also requires that we hold a public hearing on the tentative budget. That was also filed along with the cities at the same time in April with the Department of Taxation in compliance with state law. So we are, again, just required to hold a public hearing on that tentative budget. No other action is required.
Okay, thank you. This is a public hearing, so I'm going to go ahead and bring it to the public. Do I have any comments? Okay, I'm going to bring it back to the dais. Do I have any questions, or I'm looking for a motion? Oh, there is no motion. Never mind.
Action is required.
They tricked you, too. They tricked me. That's hard to do, too. Okay, we'll move ahead then. No action required. Item 7.2, now we need action.
Now we need action.
Okay.
Thank you.
7.2, consideration, discussion, and possible adoption of the final budget for the redevelopment agency of the City of Sparks Area 2 for the fiscal year 2023-24. Mr. Cronk.
Thank you, Chairwoman Bybee. Also, or again, I should say, my name is Jeff Kronk, Chief Financial Officer for the record, and agency members. This is the final step in the final budget process for fiscal year '24. There is substantially no change between what was in the tentative budget and now what's in the final budget presented to you this afternoon. And it's also the same that we had presented in the city manager's final budget recommendation. So no changes between what was originally filed and what we're looking to file right now. This is the final document forms that were put in front of you for your signature, should you so approve. And with that, I'll take any questions.
Okay. Do we have any questions? This is public hearing too, isn't it? No, this is not. Oh, we're down to 7. Okay.
Right.
Do I have questions? No questions, please. I'm looking for a motion then. Anyone? Agency Member Abbott?
I move to approve the final budget for the fiscal year 2023 to 2024 for the redevelopment agency of the City of Sparks Area 2.
Agency Member Dare?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, please vote. Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you
Mr.
very much.
Cronk. Okay, moving on. Item 8.1, comments from the public. Do we have any comments from the public? I'm looking at my public. I'm not seeing any. Okay, I will close comments from the public. Item 8.2, announcements from the agency and Chief Administrative Officer, Acting City Manager McCormick.
I don't have anything, thank you.
Okay. Okay. We will close 8.2, and we will adjourn. Thank you.